All right, what's up, everyone? Live streaming, live trading. Here we go. All right. So if you've joined me on my some of my other streams, change this up a little bit. Um, so basically what we're looking at here now, where this used to be a 1-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, here I have a 5-minute chart, a 30-minute chart, and then on my other screens, oh man, hang on. And then yeah, on my other screens I have 35-minute and a 1-minute here. So this is a pair, there's a pair, 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 and then this is a trading view. I have all the 6 pairs I'm looking at here. Pair, 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 and then same thing, pair, 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 pair. Um, but yeah, I'll kind of tell you what we're looking at as kind of, or what we're looking for as we find them. But first thing we're looking for is for the pressure indicator, which is the green and red lines here that we see on every chart that I have. And looking for these to both be facing the same direction, and we're looking for confluence on each chart. So pointing up, we'd want base pointing up, and then we can look for an entry on the 1-minute chart. That's when we go over to our other screen, and then I need to change what this is showing here. I never know. This is all the screen real estate I have. I never know where to put my. Put it right. Oh, why did it do that? There we go. Maybe I can just hide it right there. Yeah, that works. Just hide it right here. That way I can still. Okay, that's perfect. So yeah. So again, we'll kind of tell you what we're looking for as we find them. The drink of choice today is white gummy bear rain, which is delicious. Probably my favorite flavor. I do really like the lemon drop bangs, but those flavors are a little bit harder to find for some reason. On the trading view charts, so this is just a 1-minute chart with a MACD, a 200 EMA, and I've actually created an indicator to get to show me when my MACD signal appears. Basically, I won't get into it too much. I'll point it out when we see it, I guess. But it just shows a little arrow. Just looking for crosses here. 200 EMA on this one. We're missing our 200 EMA on the yen pair for some reason. Let's fix that. Oh man, if I could type. Okay, let's go in. Is this it? Why is this? Oh, no. No, it's there. Okay. Move. Okay, I just couldn't see it. It's just hiding. Okay, but it's there. Okay, so looks like for now the only pair that's really showing confluence is the US dollar franc, which if you've watched my stream before, I like to call the chief because CHF. That's why. The chief. Let's see. Let's see what the chief is doing. Delicious. So, yeah, both these are facing down. Oh, sorry. Well, okay. So the chief and the cad. And it looks like now the pound. So now we want to see this indicator on these two to match the direction of the pressures, which this is the pressure on the charts that I have on my side screens here. So basically, I think on the UCAD, this is the UCAD pair here, probably going to want to see some kind of pullback. This is looking nice and downtrendy. This is looking a little exhausted here, so maybe let's find a little pullback and start going back down again. Looks like on the Chief, we're looking like we're getting a little pullback. And now we are just waiting. And then when we do get in on trade, or another thing we're looking at, once these match and when these match, well, this one too, because for 3 out of 4 lines on the TNT indicator, which are these orange and blue lines here, to also give me the signal that we're good to move forward on the trade. Oranges go in the direction of the trade, blues go in the opposite direction, so this is actually the perfect short setup. Just kind of waiting for the ooh, that actually looks good at the post of this 1 minute. Okay, so we actually took a short trade on the Chief. We just dropped the Chiefs. So this is our trade right here. Looking forward to get to this line. Looks like it's and then it went down for a second there. But we looking at this, going back to our, I can't remember exactly what this screen is showing. Side screens. Okay, good. We can actually see my trade still here. Put this back. Okay, but we went in because these are pointing down, these are pointing down, these are pointing down, these are pointing down, orange is pointing down, blue's pointing up, these are pointing down, and these were pointing down as well. Oh, would you look at that? Good trade. Let's just P&L to show today only. P&L, stupid thing is, whoa, what happened? What is going on? Yeah, that looks like it's really moving. We could have maybe got a little bit more there. We only went for a what's it called? 2-to-1 risk reward, and I'm actually in the middle of trying to find out an exact win rate for this. It's just time consuming. But what I've been finding is it's actually the most profitable with a 1-to-1. So maybe I'll start trading that today. But I've also relaxed the rules just a little bit with the when I'm back testing. And then I'm going to go back again and do everything again just a little bit more strict. I don't know why this is being so weird. Why is this showing every trade I've done in the last? Okay. Custom period. MT4 is being weird, which isn't weird. Look at my MACD setup. See if anything's brewing over here. Doesn't look like I have any setups brewing there quite yet. But we need to keep an eye on the CAD because this is looking like a good opportunity for a short here. So this actually looks really good. Reds on top on both of these, which is a bullish signal or bullish indicator. Pointing good strong downward direction on the majors and minors indicator here. So maybe waiting for some kind of pullback on the 5-minute. Let's see if there's any other. Looks like we have confluence on the Aussie now. These are now pointing up. Maybe looking for a pullback, a little pullback on the 1-minute chart here. Possibly seeing another opportunity to go short on the chief again. Man, I really wish. There it is. If we include that, it'll. There we go. Gosh, all right. Yeah, so we're seeing a little pullback on the 1-minute chart here. Seeing a little gray dagger set up. I think I am going to do a 1-to-1. Okay, didn't quite close the way we will want this to. I really like the setup I got here. The only thing not going in our favor here is the TNTs are not hitting our rules. Yeah, we could have got a lot of movement here on this chief trade. I mean, we are after all looking for a possible short opportunity here, which we just got. So let's. Okay. We just went short again on the chief. This time a 1-to-1. So our stop loss and take profit is just the 1-minute ATR times 2 for both of those. And we're doing a 1-to-1 this time. It seems to work pretty good. This is where we'd like it to go right here. Looks like it's drawn back a little bit. Looks like we could look for an opportunity to go long on the pound here. The trade looks like it's halfway between our stop and our entry, so it's not going in the direction we'd like it to quite yet. Still got some room to play though. 5-minute bar just closed. Still looks like a pretty good bearish candle. I'm still looking for a little pullback on the CAD here. Looks like we're getting a cross on the 30-minute in the yen here, which is a bullish, very bullish signal with a little pullback in the 5. Well, I wouldn't necessarily call that a pullback yet, but a little bit of gray dagger action on the 1 minute, so see if we can keep an eye on that for that to snap back down. Aussie's looking very bullish. TMTs aren't quite exactly how we want them to be. Looks like our chief trade is right about at our entry at the moment. Looks like the euro is starting to look pretty bullish. This yeah, no. So one of our rules is we're not gonna take a trade if this value here in orange is maxed out, which 10 or 0 is maxed, which is showing the value where this thick orange line is. So if this is maxed out on either the 30 or the 5-minute chart, we're not looking to get in there. Chiefs still hanging out where we left it. Yen is looking like a possible sell. Down, down, down. Technically, those are both pointing down with a cross. These aren't maxed out. Down, down, up, up. So let's cue this up. Wow, that ATR. Oops. 1 minute ATR. 33. Yen. Yen. sell. All right, and we are officially short on the yen. Oh man, in our chief trade, got so close. Oh man, get there. Ooh, you know what? Oh, if it pulls back, I'm just gonna close it. I'm just gonna close it. Take profits. I'm not gonna risk that coming back when we're that close. It happens. Let's look at our yen. All right, so we're short on the yen here. Again, 1-to-1. Um, risk reward. And not seeing any setups getting close on our MACD charts yet. Hey, let's see. Pound still looking bullish, still waiting for a bit of a pullback here. Starting to lose some upward pressure on the euro. Chief still looking very bearish. CAD still looking very bearish. Man, it looks like we had a signal on the CAD 3 minutes ago that we missed that we could have gotten, should have gotten right here. Maybe we did. I don't think we did. We probably wouldn't have gotten because this is still, that's right, we're looking for a pullback on the 5 minute here because this is looking pretty flat and exhausted. But we're looking very bearish overall on that one. Our yen is creeping in the direction that we want. Man, my big conflict when managing a trade is when do you move your stop loss to break even? It is because whenever I do move it, it always moves right back and we get stopped out and then it moves back to where we would have taken our profits. I think of all the charts that I'm looking at, I mean, I think all of them are actually showing confluence with the pressure direction, except for maybe the Aussie. It's a little looking like it's getting a little stuck right here. So look around here. Okay, here's a good bullish setup on the pound. Especially since it looks like we could get a good cross here. So if this posts, no, not yet. T&Ts are just flat. Both of these oranges are near maxed out. Okay, here's a good, we're already in short on the yen right now, but it looks like we could be getting a whole other sell signal here, which is a good signal for our current trade. So just getting a little pullback on the 1 minute, and hopefully this kind of kinks back down, and that's going to be a good signal for the trade that we're already in. And it looks like we're starting to get a pullback on the CAD, getting a little pullback on the Chief, so we might actually look at going short on the Chief again. Pressure's still pretty bearish here. So if we get a big enough pullback on the 5 minute, this 30 minute still looking very much like it wants to go down. I think I want to add on this one. I think I want both oranges in my chart here. Both of them. Yeah, I like that. I want that. Looks like our yen is still working its way down, slowly but surely. Let's look at our yen again. Yen again. So yeah, here we go. So again, kind of getting pulled back toward the, so pull back and then going back down to the direction of the trend, which we are identifying by looking at the pressures, 5 and 30 minute charts. Here we go. Bam. Perfect. And we are up $83 for the trade with 3 good trades. And we are basing this off of a $5,000 account, so that is just a little over 1.5% return for the day so far. Might be a good idea just to call it quits and call it a day. Because if you get a 1.5% return every day, that's about a 30% return every month. And if you're getting a 30% return every month, you are getting rich quick. Oh, feel good about that though. And full disclosure, still, we are just paper trading still. We are working on getting to a point where we are comfortable with throwing our own money in here. Let's see. I think what we will do though, so we're not going to actually take any more trades in our MetaTrader, just because I think we're going to go ahead and just lock in our profits for the day. And we'll just kind of practice. I mean, this is all practice, but we're just going to lock in our trades. We're still going to look for trades that we would take and pretend that we take them, I guess. Now, what's cool about this program, so these indicators, haven't talked too much about them in this stream, but I'll go ahead and go over them. But yeah, these indicators, they are proprietary from Day Trading University. They are not free. And the idea is you take a day trading course, you get access to these indicators, you get coaching sessions um, with one of their coaches, and I've going through the program right now. It's been very good. I feel like I've had a good experience so far. And what you can do though is you can hop on Day Trading University and you can, without having to pay for the entire course, um, pay for a $10 free, well, a $10 free trial. No, pay $10 for a trial for a month to get access to these indicators, and you can go back and back test. And of all the programs I've used, I think this is a really good tool to back test. It's really easy. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan of is that your charts only have these indicators, and you can't add any other ones that you might be used to using. For example, the MACD or EMAs, RSI, or whatever indicators you typically like to have on your chart, which is kind of why I have this from TradingView open, and I'm still kind of tweaking my process, and I might stop using these once I get to a certain point. But I'm kind of playing around with a strategy. In fact, there's a super popular video. If you're watching this, you've probably seen it, but it's a MACD strategy. The YouTube channel Trading Rush, which is a great channel. Basically, he goes back and back tests all these different strategies, and according to him, this specific strategy with the MACD is the most successful for him. Which his rules, and I've never really been able to get the same results when I kind of go back and look at it, but I haven't really done a full back testing on it. But basically, if we're looking at this one right here as an example, if the price is above the 200 EMA, you take a buy signal when the MACD is below the oscillators, and I don't know if this is a 0 line or the 50 line, but halfway essentially. But if you get a cross going back up, that is a buy signal. MACD has to cross below this line toward the upward direction if the price is above the 200 EMA. And if we're looking at these ones where the price is below the 200 EMA, then we're looking for a sell signal. If the MACD is above the halfway here on the MACD and crosses back toward the upside. So that's the signal for that strategy. And once I'm done back testing, getting an exact win rate on the strategy that I've been using for the trades that we took today, then I'm going to go back and back test this and see if I get similar results that Trading Rush channel did, which he's saying 60+% win rate on a 1 to 1.5 risk reward ratio, which is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal if that is the case. And I mean, I think there's more than one way to the top of the mountain. I'm not saying my way is the best way by any means. In fact, it probably isn't. Just the fact that I'm still um, trading in a demo account, paper trading, uh, is an indicator that I'm not there yet. But that's why we're doing this. We are learning together. And I'm going to move my YouTube studio to a different screen here because since we're not actually taking trades, I want to keep an eye on that. Now we have a little bit more real estate. Or, yeah, and you don't have to see it. Oh, look at that. I have some chats. I missed it because I don't have enough real estate on my screen. And he's not here anymore. But I'll say hello anyway. From Uzbekistan. I'll be honest, I have no idea where Uzbekistan is, but I appreciate you showing up on the stream and saying hello. Oh man, I have all this real estate here now. What am I going to do with it? Oh man, in the thumbnail of this video, you can kind of see my setup that I have here. Um, I just invested in these two massive um, Samsung 32-inch gaming monitors, and they're freaking awesome. And I have them um, kind of on the sides, vertically, which is great for trading, but not great for everything else that I do on my computer, namely gaming mostly. It would be really nice if I could adjust it so that I could have these two monitors horizontal on top of each other, but in front of me I have my main screen and I'm using a laptop, so that's right in front of me. I have a smaller screen just above that. Well, not a smaller screen, a bigger screen than my laptop, but smaller compared to these massive monitors. Um, so it would be hard to put these big monitors in front of me, one on top of the other, because I wouldn't have a good place to put my laptop or the other screen. I think it would, if I could manage to do that somehow, it would give me a little bit more real estate to work with, because I believe, and I haven't really messed around with this too much yet, but I believe it's possible to um, basically split this one monitor in two so it acts like two. So essentially, I would have 6 screens going, which would be great. And I just need a little bit more real estate overall so that I can have what you currently see, plus be able to have my streaming software up. Oh yeah, that's just confusing. What am I even looking at right now? Because when I have all my charts up, I'm not able to see my streaming software or the YouTube. which is why I missed some of these. Well, missed this one chat. It makes me sad. I want to be able to react with my audience whenever I have audience. Usually it's just maybe one person at a time, in and out. That's funny. Okay, well, this doesn't need to be up for all to see. So we'll just kind of hide that back right there. I don't really necessarily want that up either. Whatever. You get to see the beautiful background of that GT40, which is right there. I had different pictures for all my backgrounds, and then I restarted my computer, and then they all reverted back to this picture. So this isn't the one that I had here. I'll need to fix that at some point. And I wish I could access my trading studio on my phone while I stream. That way I could just see it on my phone. I can hop on the live on my phone and see the messages. The stream is a little bit behind. Yeah, I'll need to figure something out. Anyway, back to looking for some possible trades here. All right, let's see if we have some confluence. Back to the main screen. All right. When I say confluence, we're looking for the pressures on the 5 and 30 minutes, 30 minute charts to match direction. So down, up, no, down, up, no, down, up, no, down, down, yes, on the yen. In fact, this is a very bearish signal here where we have a cross in the downward direction with red on top. Up, down, no, up, down, no. So the only pair that has confluence right now is the yen. So now we are going to go over here. This is our yen right here. Down, down. Now we're going to look for confluence in the majors and minors indicator, which are these ones here. Down. Looks like we're getting a cross here, which is good, but we want that to be crossed before we get in. This is going down, and pressure on the 1 minute looks good. In fact, I might just tee up. Well, we're not going to actually take a trade, but I think we would if we were still taking trades right now. So right there. And we would have about a 66 pip stop loss, and we would be going for a 1-to-1 risk to reward. on this trade right now. Ooh, actually, we would not be because we forgot to look at the TNTs here. The oranges are pointing in the direction that we want, but the blues are not. So we technically wouldn't have taken this trade here, but we'll keep up our. I don't even know what this is called. And it looks like we are actually setting up for some possible MACD trades. So I don't know how well you can see this, but if we get a cross here, 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 or here, assuming that the price stays where it is relative to the MACD currently, then we will get some signals. Now the only signals I exclude here is if the price action, if the bar that I get the signal is touching, if it's bouncing off of the EMA, I guess that's still okay. But if it's been hanging out in the EMA and we're just getting a whole bunch of signals right there, then I think that kind of tells us not to get in. We're getting super close on the pound. Euro's looking like it's either wanting to hang out or bounce off the EMA. The Aussie is showing some hard rejection off the EMA currently. Now, if we'll, I'm sure we'll see it in just a sec. But as soon as we get across here, we'll see a little arrow above or below the price action, which is actually a custom indicator that I that I actually created. Basically, it's an indicator to give me a signal for this specific strategy, and it would be great. Well, look at this. It's getting real close. All of these, except for the yen, is showing that we're real close to getting a signal, I think. The next bar, possibly on all of these. I think the best looking ones is the chief and the pound. I've noticed that the further it is away from the EMA, I don't know, it just seems like they always do a little bit better. Because I feel like what traders are looking for when price levels are hitting around the 200 EMA, or any major EMA for that matter, is for it to really either bounce off or to break through. Oh, see, there it is. There's the signal. So there's the cross, there's the signal. And so we would wait for this bar to close. Then we would hop in just before the bar closes just to make sure that it doesn't go back down and we lose the signal. But I think in about 15 seconds or so, assuming we still have that signal, I'll go ahead and put in a trade. And again, kind of, let's see, that's the pound. Just using the 1 minute ATR, which is at 44 now, doubling that, so 88. Basically, we'll go for 9 pips, so we get in right here. Put in, oh man, yep, 9 points, 9 pips rather. We would, oh man, I really wish, there's nothing for me to grab on, let's see, no, Can't adjust this. All right, well, I guess it's just going to be small. Oop, got another signal. Two more. Ooh, we actually did get a signal on the euro. Yeah, oops. Throw one of these on here. Yeah, only thing I don't love about this one is that we're looking kind of, get rid of that actually. Remove. Is that we're looking a little choppy around the EMA. This one actually, it looks like it could be good though, but you just saw it just disappeared because the MACD did not stay crossed, which is exactly why we wait for the bar to close before we get in. And I figure if we're gonna have all this real estate, oh gosh, that makes it harder. Maybe not. Just need to get used to it. No, that's harder. Now it looks like the CAD wants to play around with the EMA. How's this trade doing? It's a little bit down so far. See, glad we didn't get in, wouldn't have gotten in there. Again, if it's chopping around the EMA, usually not my favorite situation to take this trade. But again, we're gonna do a thorough back testing on this at some point, and then we'll know for sure what our percentages are when we do what. And the settings on the ATR that I'm using is just the past 5 bars, just so you know, which is not the default setting. I think the default setting in most charts is like 14 or something. But the default setting on the ATR with our indicators that we're using through Day Trading University, the standard ATR is 5. Setting is 5. Okay, we're still waiting for a possible signal on the Chief. And possibly the CAD too, but it looks like the CAD's wanting to play around with the EMA as well, as we can see right here. Lots of rejecty bars right here. Now it's looking like it broke through but went back down. What was the other one? Yeah, lots of rejecty bars on the Aussie as well, but it looks like we did close back down and have a couple bars that'll close underneath, though possibly a good indication that it just keeps going down. In fact, what does our where is this? What does our main screen look like on the CAD? Or sorry, not the CAD, the Aussie. Bearish on the 5-minute, but not really knowing what it wants to do on the 30. In fact, everything is conflicting here. Green's pointing down, red's pointing up, thick orange pointing down, thin orange pointing up. Lots of conflicting information there, so I would, getting another signal on the MACD indicator here. But again, not looking too lovely. And it might be that I just kind of combine the strategy that I'm using in addition to this kind of MACD. So maybe when we get a signal, ooh, we got another one here. This one looks a little better than what the Euro's doing, just because we have a lot more rejection showing on the EMA right here and right here. So if this bar closes, with this arrow, ooh, that cross does not look very strong. In fact, it's kind of appearing, ooh, here we go. This is probably the best one yet. Well, this one still looks good too, but wow. Okay. Okay, yeah, so we'd go in on both of those, I think. Let's go ahead and see, it's the Chief 50. Where's my... Oh, heavens, I'm missing an entire chart here. Where'd it go? I'm missing my... No wonder I don't have... I have open real estate, because I'm literally missing... Where the heck did it go? Oh, that's why. Anyway, I'll pull that up. Let's get in here. Right there. Let's just use some levels. Oh, wait, that's a long move. I'm going short. Right here, we'll use this level 1 to 1. Oh, can't even see. Oh, it's too small. Oh, this is just... Yeah, I'm gonna have to mess around with this to make this easier to use. It's just too small. When 4 screens is not enough. And when the massive screens are not big enough. Alright, let's fix that we don't have our... We don't have our chief in CAD. I need to save this layout. In fact, let's do that right now. 3 chart. Save. Okay, so now if I go over here, 3 charts, it should bring up exactly what we have. Turn on night mode because day mode sucks butt, in my humble opinion. Oh man. Ooh. Oh man, this is just... There we go. I honestly just need one dedicated screen just for this. Which, I need to see if I can brainstorm about my layout here, which we've kind of already... Oh, you can't even see what I'm seeing. See, this is my problem. I'm still practicing streaming too, guys. Give me a break. There we go. All right, now we have the correct pairs here. Chief, Chief, CAD. CAD. Okay. Where's that other trade we were right here? All right, so even though it's kind of tough to see, you know what? It could be worth just moving this over temporarily on a different screen so we're able to look at it a little easier. But we got in right there. Probably put the level at the MACD line. Going for 1-to-1. There we go. And let's see. Look at that. It would have. That one would have won. Assuming that's where we put the stop, which I don't know. I'm not necessarily saying that one way is better than the other. As far as should you use an ATR or should you just look at the chart and put it at the place that just makes sense as far as where you're putting your stop? I think in the long run, your results are going to be basically the same in the end. But yeah, that one would have been good. Looks like we're still in on this pound trade, but it's basically where we got in right now. But that's still going. CAD trade, or sorry, the chief trade is looking like it's still going. Not quite going the direction that we would want yet, but it's got room to wiggle. Wiggle room. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Oh yeah, and I forgot about. Oh gosh, what screen are we on? Okay, yeah, you can see. Now these are all wonky. I forgot about this trade though that we would have gone in. Oh well. Actually, we decided that we wouldn't have gone in because at the time the TNT's on the 5-minute chart. Wow, why won't? Okay, no. So we got in right here, and it looks like we would have got stopped pretty quick, and that's why we follow the rules. And again, if you don't remember, we kind of thought about going short on the yen here, and at that point, we decided we're done taking actual trades because we're happy with our take profit for the day. And we saw this, everything looked good except for the TNT at the time was not giving us not all the conditions were being met to actually take the trade, and we would have lost if we had actually gone in on that. So that's why we follow the rules. And yeah, going back over here, we could have let this run. Pound trade still kind of hanging out at our entry. MACD still showing some upward momentum. Might, if we were to take a closer look at this chart, might see some convergence divergence action. Oh, I really wish I could adjust this better. Let's see. Find a level, so here's a level. Yeah, there's some good convergence divergence action here, which I think, I can't remember, but I think the trade, if you're trading based off of convergence divergence, goes in the direction of whichever the indicator is going. If that's the case, then possibly a good opportunity to go long here. I think. I don't know. Comment if you know more about convergence divergence trading than I do. From what I understand, basically, if the levels of the price action, if the levels of the um, indicators, um, like if you're seeing higher highs in the indicator, if you're seeing kind of a difference in the levels, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know how to really explain it without showing it to you. We should probably be taking a closer look at our other indicators though. See if we can find some more setups. All right, let's do just that. Back to our main screen. See if there's confluence with our pressures. Down, mixed. Technically down, but not great. Up, down, up. Looking like it's technically up. Technically down, kind of mixed. Up, down. Mixed, down. So if we're kind of mixed more on the 5-minute chart, that's a good indication that it's gonna reverse toward that the 5 minutes gonna, go back in the direction of the overall trend, which is down on the 30-minute, at least according to the pressures. So something to look for, keep an eye on. It looks like on this pound trade, this one took a big turn and we would have gotten stopped. That would not have been a good trade. Same thing on this chief one we were looking at. So of the three, we did take one winner, two losers. With a 1-to-1 risk to reward, you'd be down one trade. So I'm glad we didn't actually take those. It would have hurt our profits that we have today, which again, we're up just over 1.5% for the day. So we decided to stop taking trades and just lock in our profits. One of my favorite traders who's more focused on, I guess you call it swing trading, and options, stock options. Michael, hold on. Is his name Michael? His last name's hard to pronounce. Hoytkotter? Is his name Michael? I'll look it up for you in just a sec. What was I talking about? Why did I bring him up again? What was I talking about? Oh man, you can't even see what I was doing. Gosh. Okay, now you can. So MACD trades, we would have won one. Oh, the quote. That's why. Anyway, would have won one, lost two. And there they are right there. Let's clean this up. Remove. 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 Yeah, I think his name is Michael Heitkotter. Heitkotter? Anyway, his one of his things that I really like is no one ever went broke taking profits. So, yeah, take profits. Don't lose them once you have them. And I think, I don't know, haven't set hard rules yet as far as when I should stop trading, whether that's 1% return, 1.5% return. I think the losses, knowing when to cut your losses and ending a day is even a harder question to answer, because if you know if you know what your win rate is with the strategy that you're using, this is the confliction that I have. If you know your win rate with the strategy that you're using, you're following your rules, why wouldn't you just do that for the entire trading session and not even worry about stopping when you hit certain levels, assuming that your strategy is profitable overall? I don't know. I think probably the benefit to setting rules like that is that if you get like today 3 good trades in a row, which obviously statistically isn't going to happen every time. I mean, that's 100% win rate for a day. And if you do that for a few days, then that's going to overall raise your win rate for the month, thus raising your overall win rate for the month higher than what that strategy would be otherwise. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay, we're just talking too much now. Let's focus back up here. All right. So again, looking for confluence with the pressures on the 5 minute and 30 minute charts. Down, mixed, up, which is actually, this is actually a good trade setup right here. 1 minute chart aside, these are pointing up and we're passing through this level here. And the post is just a little over 3 minutes, so we got room to kind of analyze this a little bit more. So we'll come back to this. This is technically pointing up, but kind of not in a happy way, not in a convincing manner. This is pointing up. If we could get this bar to post above the pressure and have the green line cross over the red here, that would be a good possible entry, considering the strong uptrend in the 30 minute. Down, down. The yen's looking very bearish, so that's one to look at too. Mixed, kind of mixed here. Kind of same situation. If we get a good post below the line here, it is crossing, especially where this 30-minute bar is kind of bounced off of this pressure. Pressure does act like support and resistance often. And same thing here. We can post under this bar. Seeing some good indications that this is going to keep going down on 30-minute. Now, what I don't like is that the oranges are both pointing opposite of the direction of the trade view looking. And now a hard rule that I have, despite what all of the TNT lines are showing, if the thin orange is not pointing in that direction, it is not a trade. Looks like we have a couple of MACD signals. Let's actually move this up here, a little more out of the way. Trade side screens. Looks like we got a couple MACD signals here. This one did close. Let's see. It hits all our criteria. This actually looks really good. Let's see what that would do. So we go short the close of this bar. Let's just use the kind of levels. That looks like a good place. And see if we can get a 1-to-1. Oh, it's I don't want to mess with this chart or make it bigger, because if you go back All right, we'll just keep an eye on that. Adjust it if we need to. And then one right here, this one did post. That would be a long signal. Long. And to my single viewer that I have, thanks for being here. Go ahead and leave a message in the chat. I will respond if I see it. Oh, he left. Scared him away. Oh gosh. It's ugly. You gave me the ugly. Long, yeah, I'll try it. Put this right there. See what happens. And they are both going against us for a second. This one's about halfway. This one's not too far away. So we'll keep an eye on those. Let's see. So we were looking at the just not seeing a lot of the not seeing good confluence in the pressures here that would give us any kind of indication that we want to take any trades. I think I mentioned this earlier. I'm currently back testing this in depth to get the exact win rate. But how I'm back testing is I'm allowing that if I'll show you on the other chart here or the other screens. So we're looking at this one, for example, the pound. If we're getting kind of a mixed signal of the pressure like this, where one's pointing up, one's pointing down, then in lieu of using the pressure, we could use the the majors, which is the green and red line in this indicator, which is a little tough to see at the moment. Instead, so if this is showing pretty mixed signals, let's see if I can actually find an example. Like this right here is a perfect example. Red's up, green's down, but the majors are pointing down. So just for the sake of trying to find more trades, more opportunities, we would use the majors in lieu of this. So that's how we're back testing, but I think while we're actually trading, we want good signals in these until I know exactly what the win rates of both scenarios are. These trades are still going. We did get a little signal right here. That's just because it barely closed underneath that EMA. At the same time, there was a cross. I just don't like taking this trade when we're chopping around the EMA. So we wouldn't in real life take this trade. But this isn't real life. We could see what happens. We'll keep an eye on it. And this trade would have lost. And this one's still going, but it looks like it's getting close to losing. So we, on the MACD trades, are 1 for 4, soon to be 1 for 5. And this is why we need to actually really back test this, because in that trading rush video that I mentioned earlier, he's saying 60 plus % win rate at a 1 to 1.5 risk reward ratio, which is just insane. And I've kind of back tested a little bit, looked at it. I haven't gone through a full on back testing session, but from what I've seen, it just doesn't seem to. I don't seem to get the same results. Maybe I'm missing something, but I think this is why it's always a good idea, no matter what strategy you're trying out, whether you get it from a book or from a YouTuber or whatever, not just go in and start trading it without doing your own thorough back testing. And this one would have lost. Move it. There we go. Yep. We got stopped right there. Even if we had our stop a little bit lower, where this bars would have gotten stopped. So yeah, we're 1 for 5 on that strategy, which is not 60% by any means, especially when it's a 1 to 1 that we're looking at here. So I'm skeptical, and I am skeptical of any trade strategy that claims a winning claims to be a winning strategy if you use a set of hard rules. Otherwise, if there was like, I don't know, an example of one indicator, and if you traded it exactly following these specific set of rules, and you were guaranteed to have a winning, it would be profitable over time. If it was guaranteed, then why wouldn't everyone be doing it? So I'm convinced, and I could be wrong, but this is just me, but I'm convinced that there is no such thing, that every trader, every strategy is going to have nuance, which is going to be the difference in making it overall profitable. I mean, otherwise you would just create a trading bot, and it would just trade for you, and it would be profitable 100% of the time. You'd risk 5% of your portfolio every trade, and you'd be a millionaire in a week. I'm not convinced. I think trading bots, some of them might work temporarily, but just since the markets are perfect, I think they will adjust accordingly and stop working after a while. Yeah, I could be wrong. Maybe there is that magic indicator that if you traded it perfectly using a hard set of rules, maybe that does exist. And I would love for comments if you believe that they're, what your thoughts are on that. And if there is a strategy that you know of that does work like that, go ahead and tell us in the comments or link a video to it. And I've already referenced the video that I got the MACD strategy from here. And I mean, the claim in that video is 60% win rate, 60+% win rate at a 1 to 1.5 risk to reward ratio with this specific strategy, which again, if price is above the 200 EMA, it indicates an uptrend, in which case you are waiting for the MACD to go below this 0 level or 50 level, whatever this is, waiting for the MACD to cross back, to make a cross under that level back toward the direction of the overall trend. That would be a buy signal. And then the sell signal is reversed. And so you have a very hard set of rules with the claim that it's got a 60% win rate. So at some point, we're going to go back and actually do some back testing on that ourselves, do a thorough job on it, and find out for sure. But I don't know, I think even a strategy like that's going to have some nuance to it. I mean, this is a perfect example right here. I mean, technically, we have a signal here. Price, technically closed below the 200 EMA. So all the conditions were met. But do you only take this trade when the price is a certain distance away from the 200 EMA? Like, you only take trades if the price isn't touching, or if it's got some good distance. And there could be you could add maybe a 150 EMA to kind of make those conditions a little bit more clear. Yeah, I still think there's even to get the same kind of results that this Trading Rush channel is showing. I think there's still some nuance. Kind of going back to the point where I think any winning trader, any successful trader is going to have some nuance that he's working on. Well, when he's looking at trades, you can't just follow a hard set of rules. I don't know, that's just my opinion. I am a fan of being proved wrong, though, assuming it's not an ideological thing. I don't know. Ideology is too subjective for proof in most cases, I think, though. So, man, let's see if we got any confluence. Down. This is technically down with a cross, which is good. Take a peek at our other chart that has the 1 minute. We'll go there together just a sec. Down. Choppy. Down. Choppy. But possibly looking to reverse. Up. Down. Up. Choppy, but also looking to possibly reverse. And up. Choppy. Again, looking to possibly reverse here. But let's kind of go back to this one. Look at the overall, the bigger. I don't know what we should call it. The other screen with the 1 minute chart. Let's look at the euro. So this is our euro here, 35 minute, 1 minute. So this is looking let's actually go back. I think the pound is going to be a better example of this, of how it's setting up. So down, we even have the red on top still. And then we are currently passing through, and the reason why I kind of like the look of the pound versus the euro here is that overall this pressure indicator has been a lot less choppy, which I've found if the pressures, just the overall look of them over the last little while is less choppy, it tends to be a little bit easier to trade, I've noticed. So, I mean, what is this? I mean, this looks a lot more friendly, I guess. I mean, this is kind of pretty good looking here on the CAD, but this is actually looking like it's just indicating a short drawback and then maybe back toward the direction of the longer trend, which if I had more screen real estate, maybe I'd have the 1 hour charts up here. Now what's actually cool, and I might think about adding this indicator to our screen over here, is that there's one called the Echo. It just takes up so much space. Um, yeah, you really gotta pull that up. Well, let's see, I actually do want to show it to you though, because it's pretty cool. So this doesn't even have enough room to show everything, but you can see a whole bunch of squares. Kind of confusing if it's the first time you've seen it, but another one of Day Trading University's proprietary indicators, they call it the Echo, but it's pretty good at showing you the overall trend on all the time frames, or a lot of time frames, in a single indicator. So really, this, I mean, so 1, 5, 15, 30, 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 day, and then actually goes out to a week and a month if we could pull it up further. Um, but yeah, it's kind of meant to show what the trend is on each time frame, which can be a really good reference. So I mean, just looking at the 30-minute and the 5-minute here, obviously that looks bearish overall. This 5-minute looks bearish overall. Then we go over here, 5-minute red, 30-minute red. And so this is going to update and kind of move over to the left as it changes. So this is gonna, a new box will appear. Everything will move over every minute on the 1 minute, every 5 minutes on the 5, and so on. And so you can see how long it's been trending like that on each of these time frames. So if we look at the 1 hour, it looks like it's only been trending down since this indicator updated. Also, could be worth noting that this is current, and with, say, for example, within this time frame, this can change multiple times without it actually updating, which we actually just saw, just barely the 4 hour indicator update, even though, or not update, but this changed from red to green, I think. I think I saw that. Um, so on these longer ones, maybe use your you know, if you're going to use this to actually take trades or confirm trades, maybe look at the first two bars, and if they're matching, then yeah, it's just on a 1 minute change. So yeah, just to kind of confirm that what you're currently looking at is actually, you know, a trend, because just because this is red or green or whatever it is doesn't mean that that's where the market is trending, because there's no middle ground here. So the more red boxes we have, the more likely it's an actual trend. So I think it's pretty easy to tell that, you know, within the last hour, the market's been trending pretty strongly going down just by looking at this without even looking at the chart. So just something I could implement a little bit, or possibly in the future. But I think where our trades are so small, really the only useful, oh, I don't know. Just with the limited real estate that I have, the really only, I don't know. I don't need to look at this to see that the 30-minute has been trending down for the last while. I don't need to look at this to see that the 5 minute's been trending down for the last good while. So I don't think this is super useful for the strategy that we're using currently, but I do know that there are strategies that have been made using this indicator specifically for certain types of trades. But that is not what we are doing here. That about right there. That's good. All right, let's back to our main screen here. Take a look at our trends. So here, all right, so the euro's giving us some confluence. The pound still looking pretty reversey. The Aussie is just looking like it doesn't know what to do on the 30-minute chart here. Same thing on the yen. Looks like the chief wants to break through. And see, this is kind of why I was thinking about looking at that echo indicator to see, okay, looks like we were trending up for a good while on the half-hour chart, had a good drawback to this level right here. Just looking at this portion of the pressure though, that's pretty bearish, and it looks like this could continue in the direction of the overall trend, which is pretty bullish on a 30-minute chart. But yeah, I mean, just kind of going back to why we could possibly just look at the echo is we could look at that in a 30-minute and see how long it's been trending up. But it's just as easy just to scroll out your chart and see, okay, well, it's an uptrend. So for now, I'm not seeing the value in having that echo on my charts as part of the strategy that we're trading. And again, we we're trading a specific way right now where we're only taking trades when there's good confluence between the pressures on the 5-minute and 30-minute charts. But I'm currently back testing, getting a good, knowing what the percentage is, the win rate is, if we're, you know, looking at a situation like this where it's looking reversey. You know, we got a good swoop with a cross here, which some trading strategies using these indicators, this would be a signal, you know, when this bar closes, if there's a cross in the pressures and when the price crosses over the pressures. Same thing here, just in the other direction. But yeah, just instead of using, like in a situation where this is, the pressure itself is not pointing in one direction, in lieu of that, let's see, we were looking at the chief just now. So over here, instead of using the pressure, we use the majors in this situation. And then see if the majors line up with the pressure on the shorter time frame. And which it does in this case. So the next thing we would look at is the majors and minors on this time frame, which it's looking pretty exhausted and flat at the moment. So in this specific scenario, maybe we'd look for a small drawback, which it looks like it is doing right now in the 1 minute. In fact, this looks like it could be a pretty decent setup. Except, if we look closer, one of our rules is we're not taking a trade if these levels are exhausted, or maxed out rather. This is showing the level of where the thick orange is currently at. And if it's at 10 or 0, we're not looking at taking a trade. It just shows that the you're either at kind of a level of resistance at some point, or it's just exhausted in that direction. We want room to move with this orange. But right now we wouldn't be looking at taking this trade simply just because this is not meeting our rules right now, and maybe we'll change those rules after I'm finished back testing that. Not currently seeing any pending opportunities on the MACD indicator. Let's see which of our pairs are showing confluence. The euro is. The yen technically is at the very moment. Barely. Okay, so currently really the only one is the euro. But we can take a peek at the yen too. So let's go back. Take a look at the euro. Here we are. This is it. So down, down, down. It's kind of pointing down. But we are not going to look at actually getting into a trade until our TNTs, at least 3 of the 4, are pointing in the directions that they need to. Again, oranges go in the direction of the trade, blues go in the opposite direction of the trade, unless the blue those are crossing, in which case this is okay. So now we look at this. Okay, so we just posted, so think I think that meets our criteria. I think I would rather see a little bit more of a stronger angle on the majors and minors here on the 1 minute chart. Ideally, I'd like this to kind of pull back, go into this channel, and then go back down, and then look and trade at that point. Just because if we're hanging out down here, that just kind of shows that we're a little bit exhausted. And I think you could basically look at this majors minor indicator as an RSI, and it would pretty much do the exact same thing with a couple of differences, but you could basically use it like an RSI, relative strength index indicator, which is going to be on any charting platform. Pretty popular indicator. Okay, so this is kind of what I was saying that we were hoping to see, is a little bit of a pullback in the 1 minute chart. So we'll keep an eye on this, but we also said that we would take a peek at the yen. Yeah, I just don't like this. Don't love it, rather. I mean, if we take a really close look at it, currently these are technically both pointing up. What would be a good strong signal here is that the green actually crossed. A good bullish signal, the green crossed here, but on the other hand, here on the 5 minute chart, the red just crossed and it's now on top. So I could see this just kind of being a minor pullback and maybe I was going to say maybe a longer downtrend. I mean, this, I wouldn't necessarily say that's very downtrendy, but if you go back pretty far, it is lower than what it was. So looks like it's just choppy. So I mean, not looking to take any trades on the 30-minute time frame by any means. I could see this going up a little bit more, maybe. But then again, we just got our cross here, which doesn't necessarily mean it's going to reverse immediately. It just means that we're open to the idea of going, taking a short trade, going short, bearish trade. But that's not the strategy that we're looking at. Looking for confluence. And then, like I said, since we are technically both pointing up here, these are both technically pointing up here, that is an opportunity to look at going long. So now we look at, okay, these are pointing up. That's looking very bullish. This is looking pretty exhausted here. So ideally, what we'd be looking at here is a little drawback and then another kink back up in the direction that the pressures are facing. And then we're using kind of these pressures, or sorry, these TNTs as the signal to go in on the trade. even if we, well, yeah, I mean that's a pretty strong uptrend on the 1 minute. I mean, it might even be worth going back here at the start. Oh, I've noticed this charting software is a little buggy when you have a lot of charts open. Come on. All right, we'll just move. Why? Why won't it let me move? Hello? Thank you. Oh gosh, come on. I just want to get to here. I just want to see what these charts look like at the start of this uptrend. Like, is it just loading? There we go. All right. Oh, right here is kind of the start of that. So when would we have gotten in on this? Maybe we did. I can't remember if we'd actually made this trade. No, we wouldn't have because we stopped trading before 8 o'clock, or stopped taking trades after 8 o'clock because we are already at a good place P&L wise for the day, and we don't want to ruin that. Okay, so I mean, this isn't perfect. All right, here's what I can do. Since I don't think we're going to be finding any more trades before we're done here, which is 9 o'clock, 3 minutes, I can show you how this charting software makes back testing easy. So we will go back to 8:15. And we're just going to look at the yen, get rid of, make it a little bit easier to see here. Yen, Yanny, Laurel. Do you guys remember that during that video where everyone heard something different? Some people heard Laurel, some people heard Yanny. I heard Laurel. What did you guys hear? Comment, let me know. Okay, so go here, go to the current day, go back to the time we were looking at 8:15, and then it'll just go there. All right, so this is just before that big uptrend on the yen. So, and then we can, as you can see, it doesn't show anything after that. So then we can click forward every minute, every 30 minutes, every 5 minutes, or even it'll show every tick. And then if you actually want to, you can choose what speed it'll actually play it back. And you can actually practice as if it were a live market in similar conditions. And then we just push play or forward. And every half second is going to show a tick. Oh, there we go. So you can kind of see how that would be beneficial in practicing finding trades if you're not in a good it's not a good time to actually make trades. You can go back and back test this way or practice this way but that's not exactly what we're doing right now. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can find where we would have gotten the signal to go long here. So both of these are pointing down, so we're not even looking to go long yet. So let's go ahead and move forward a few bars until we see. Okay, these are pointing up now. This is not looking good though. So we know this goes up pretty strong here. And right now we're just kind of waiting for this 30-minute. Okay, so now it is officially pointing up. Both are pointing up. It's not a great looking pressure setup, but they are pointing up. These are pointing up. These are technically pointing up. So now what we'd be looking for is, yeah, I usually like to see this kind of go back into the channel and then back up for the signal. So we'll do that. We'll wait for something a little bit better here to show us. Okay, okay. So this is probably where I'd look at getting in right here. So up, up, up. It's technically pointing up, both of these. I don't, the only thing I'd be worried about here is, you know, it's not pointing up very strongly. But let's look at everything else. Let's assume that we're okay with that. Our hard rule about the thin orange applies here. Both of those oranges are pointing up. Okay, these are not giving us, the TNTs aren't giving us a signal yet, so let's go forward. We'll probably have to wait for this post. Okay, now it's actually showing the opposite, so maybe there's going to be a little drawback here, and then we can get in. It goes back up. We have a nice little silver, or sorry, gray dagger here, which is a bullish indication. Orange is pointing up, 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 down, down. So no. Up, 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 up. Still not there. So let's wait for that. Did we just watch? We missed that entire. Yeah. Okay. So we didn't actually get. Oh, at least our strategy did not give us a signal at any point in here. And I think that's mostly just because this wasn't super looking super, which is fine because this strategy seems to give you a good number of opportunities to take trades in a day. I mean, what was our, oh, I found my other chart that we ultimately had to bring a new one back up here. It was just hiding on my other screen, which you can't see. Oh well. All right, let's actually show you. So this is the trade screen where we actually take the trades. We're just using MetaTrader 4. But let's see, we took 3 trades pretty quick. Started trading just after 7 o'clock Mountain Time. 7:12, 7:24, 7:31. So just over a half hour of trading. Got 3 good trades in a row and decided to call it good there. 2 of those were actually on the chief, the franc, US dollar franc pair, which kind of funny. I mean, I feel like this could have been one trade because we forgot that we were gonna do a 1-to-1 trade ratio, so we actually did a 1-to-1 and a 2-to-1 on the first trade, and then it just got another signal to go, so we got in again, did 1-to-1. So basically got one. When you combine those, got 1 to 1.5 trade ratio there. So actually, would have been better if we ended up better than if we just taken 1-to-1 risk reward trade ratio trade. So turned out to work out a little bit better. And then we found a good little long opportunity on the yen. Okay, well, I think we are going to call it for the day because at 9 o'clock Mountain Time, things tend to get a little weird. However, we can look at this. I just saw this. Got a couple of signals from our MACD indicator that I made. We can just see what these will do real quick. We're just going to use the 1-minute ATR to decide how big this is. So we would have gotten in, right? Well, yeah, and see, going back to what I was saying about nuance. I mean, yeah, technically the hard rules are showing go in here. But we've been playing around with that 200 moving average. But let's just see what would happen. 1-minute chart ATR on the pound is, where is it? I'm getting mixed up here. About 21. So we'll double that. 42 points. 1-to-1. I'm going 42 points down. If it gives me room, it does not. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Had another signal here, which again, kind of one of those a little scary taking trades when it's been playing around at the 200 EMA. I think the 200 moving average is actually the most popular indicator. I think. I could be wrong. So I think no matter what strategy you're looking at, I think it's always good to have a 200 EMA up there. Because you can tell, I mean, the price will react to it pretty much every time. React in one way or another. Let's go ahead and get our long position here. Right there. UCAD. About 22 ATR, so we'll go 44. There we go. Is this going to let us go all the way up to? Okay, it will. There we go. Right there. Oh gosh, why? Oh, there we go. That looks a little bit better. Thought I saw. See this? Oh man, yeah. I mean that right here. I think that technically should have given me a signal. Yeah, the cross itself is above that level. So I think we could have gone, we should have the signal right here. Yeah, let's put in a trade as if we saw that. See how it goes. Maybe. Hold on. There we go. That would be a short position right here. ATR currently is about 16. We'll go 32 point stop loss. 32 point take profit. It lets me go. All right. So both of these are just kind of hanging out at the entry. This one's looking like it's going against us. Da da da. Chief. Looks like we have a possible signal here if this closes. Again. I don't love taking these trades when they're playing around with that 200 EMA. But just for craps and giggles, I mean, I think when I back test this, I think my official rule start will be as long as the bar that has the signal is not touching the EMA, and maybe have a little bit of discretion as to, if the price has just been hanging out going through the EMA like for the last how many bars, then maybe not take that trade. See, this is the thing. Yeah. I'll just put one up just to see what happens. Definitely would not take this trade with real money. Current ATR 15, so we'll look at going 33 pips about there. What am I looking at? I'm so confused. Right there. That should be. Why is that? I don't know what's going on. 30. I'm looking for. Where is it showing the value? Okay, right there. They say 30 or 32. Whatever. Alright, and that's as high as it's going to let me put it. Again, just keep an eye on that. Yeah, so it looks like all of them are just kind of going against us so far, except for this one. This one's just kind of. I want to see it better. There we go. Okay. This one's still kind of hanging out at our entry. This one's racing toward our stop. This one's racing toward our stop. This one's racing toward our stop. So, yeah, okay, and then we would have got stopped out on the pound here. And see, this is what I'm talking about. I'm just so. Oh, see, and look, right when we get stopped out, we get a signal to go long. Yeah, see, so this is kind of going back to what I was saying. I just don't think there's a strategy that exists that if you follow hard rules that you'll be consistently profitable. I think there's just too much nuance. I think I mean, even something as simple as just this MACD strategy that this trading rush guy was back testing. Stop there, stop there. Yeah, we're out of, let's say, I think we're 1 out of 9 of trades. Uh, 1 out of 9 trades have won of the ones that we've looked at today. And for someone that has back tested this very strategy and got a 60+% win rate at a 1 to 1.5 trade ratio, makes me skeptical. You know, and I think that channel was great, but I wonder how many people watched that video and said, wow, that's great. That will make me money. Decided to go make a whole bunch of trades in the live market and lost a whole bunch of money. You know, because, yeah, hard rules. It just seems like if you, yeah, specifically with this strategy, like the 2 rules he goes over, and I don't know, it's been a while since I've watched it. Maybe there's a couple of other things he talks about. Um, but yeah, two rules. If we just followed those 2 rules, we would have lost 8 out of 9 trades today. When we were led to believe that we should have won, 5 out of those 9, maybe 6 out of those 9. Yeah, 6 out of those 9 trades. Statistically, we should have won according to that video. Heck, see, that just makes me skeptical. And so obviously, if we just follow those 2 rules, it's not doing us any favors as far as helping us make money. And then you have to add more rules. Okay, well, what extra rules could we add to this that would possibly help? First one I would think of is maybe don't take a trade if the bar that we're getting the signal on is touching that 200 EMA. And from what I've seen in the past, that doesn't seem to help a whole lot, maybe a little bit. Maybe you could add a rule that says, well, maybe don't take a trade if the price action has interacted with the or touched the EMA at all in the last little bit. But then you gotta ask, okay, well, how long? How far away does the price action need to be away from that EMA to still be considered a valid trade? And then you might think, well, what if I just added another EMA? And as long as those are in the right order, then it should be valid. And so it just seems like the more rules you add, or the more indicators you add, the more rules you have to have, which just increases the probability that you're just going to have to either add a whole bunch more rules, or there's just going to have to be an element of nuance. It's a pretty classic trade setup. Pass the EMA, draw back to it, and bounce off of it. Good classic setup. Could look at going long on. But yeah, that's the thing. I think every successful day trader or any type of trader is going to use nuance. They're going to have rules, obviously, but there's going to be a little bit of nuance there too. So anyway, like I said earlier, if you think that there's a strategy that exists that's foolproof, just do this when this happens and you'll make money. Let me know. I'd be curious. Cool. Well, folks, I think we are going to end the stream with that. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you thought anything that I said was interesting, or if you want to see more day trading or more similar videos, I think it'd be cool to do a series of looking at YouTubers' trade strategies and back testing it. I think there's so many YouTubers that are so, I don't want to say full of crap, but pretty much full of crap. It's so easy to look at so many of these videos of just, here's this winning trade strategy. I got 500 pips using this simple strategy. Doubled my account in 1 hour using this simple rule. And then you look at the video and like, oh wow, that looks great. And then you go and try to find that scenario. I don't know. It's just like all these videos are like, oh yeah, 2020 is hindsight. Well, yeah, that happened. After that happened. But then you see the same setup and you're like, okay, okay, and then it didn't do anything that I thought it would do based off of what that strategy was showing or what that video said it should do. So I think it might be fun to do a series where I back test YouTubers' strategies that they advertise, calling out their crap. Okay, I'm getting off real this time. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe.